Oh, welcome back to Wook Plus on Weekend Wook, joined by the great Went. What a fucking show. Oh my
Wow.
God. That was a show, man. Where are you at with that, Kev?
That was a
Big
show.
picture. It was a
That
good
was a
show.
it was I think that right now it is a shiny new thing. I think looking back, it'll rank top 10% of shows.
Ever? All time?
Yeah.
Wow, that's way higher than I thought you were going to go. You're like, it's a shiny new thing. I was like, if it's over top 10,
He's gonna
yeah.
crush it. He's gonna crush
Right.
it.
Well, so it's cool because it's the other gauntlet, it's the other glove, right? Like there's two things. You have the mega jam in an average show, or you have a really great set list and well-rounded show that doesn't necessarily have like a standout monumental jam. And we've had a lot of like really exceptional jams that are in kind of standard shows. I thought this was just a phenomenal set list, a very well executed show. There was 6 songs tonight that debuted in the 80s, like not even the 90s. 6 of those
Right.
songs debuted in the 80s. That is insane. The vintage was
Right.
95 for the show, 94 for the first set.
Right.
And they nailed it. They played it great. And the two, we'll go through the set list. I'm all over the place, I know, but the two that were from the modern era, like the 3 4.0, I thought were beautiful. They were both the penultimate of the sets, the first set and the penultimate of the second set. And they were two great choices. I didn't mind them. I think they worked really well. Am I all over the
Um
place? You want to go through it?
yes. Well, what I was gonna say, what I when I say that it's where I think it'll end up as a rank, I want to put a caveat on that I do have just issues with right off the top repeats. On 4 repeats tonight. You're only doing 8 shows. I wish you would just play through the catalog. I know you're shaking your head. I thought that the Ghost neat as an opener, but I don't think it broke any new ground or was any different than the Ghost we've seen closing sets and
Yeah,
recently.
it was a pretty basic ghost, but it's also, I mean, a really cool way to start a show.
The
But
novelty.
this is exactly what I said though last night. I don't care if they repeat or don't repeat if they're going to put on a show like this, because I'm not, it's not about the stat, or you know what I mean? I think it's about, you have to have it in that isolated night to give me the best show that you can give me that night, or in the run, right? Like a 3-night run, not a tour. I don't know. I'm fine with the repeats if you're gonna get a show like you got tonight.
Oh, and fair enough. And there we are.
What do you think about that Bowie though?
What I want to say about Bowie is that I'm going to jump to the encore and mention that song. Antelope holds up better in 4.0 than Bowie does. I
Yeah,
just don't feel like there's no fire at the end of Bowie anymore, like Trey got at the end of the Antelope. Maybe Bowie needs to be an encore instead of in the 2 slot, like it was in Mexico. Now again, it's in the 2 slot. Is that where Bowie's going to live now?
and so here's the thing: is are modern Bowies doomed to be that way anyway? So therefore, it makes more sense in a 2 spot, or are they that way because they're slotted in the 2 spot? And if they were moved, they would be better. I
I
agree
think
with you though, and I don't think it's just 4.0. I think that was all through 3 too, like pretty much from like 15 on. They're not bad. They're not sloppy. They're like, what do you call it? Deflated. Like,
yes.
they don't have the gust. They don't have that the like the Clifford Balls type of, like,
Right.
blow your
They're like a
face off.
mimeograph. It's like a mimeograph of the original.
Yeah. Um,
Jason. All
is
right.
he losing his mind?
Moving right along. Esther, we all know where I am on Esther.
I
Good
loved
good
it.
for everybody who got an Esther because I know people chase that and I'm not going to deny anybody that, but for me I'm like, eh,
Uh,
I don't know. I have this issue with when I was young, a lot of the
in
songs
the
that they would
1800s.
yeah, they would play the songs all the time, so you were like, again, and I still have that block in my head, I guess.
No, I mean, I think it's completely fair for your perspective. And that's the thing to remember about this. Like, we're here, we give our opinions and our takes on it. We have pretty different perspectives. At least, I mean, they probably get closer as we do more and more of this, but we started decades apart and have other life experiences, and people watching. I mean, everybody has takes on it. I think that's fair for your perspective. From my perspective, I think it is a super fun and special song. It's one of those songs that is like ingrained in the history of the band, chiseled in the stone at like the Phish mausoleum, and I think it's great to get it. Right, Jake?
It
Um,
is
I loved it there. I love that we did Ghost, Bowie, Esther, and then The Hood because it's all classics. It's all, you know.
right. And the Esther was solid. I will say that they don't there were no flubs in it. He went through it. I having the lyrics there is a godsend for Trey. Cause I can tell you as an old person, it's hard to remember shit. And you see him looking down while he's
Yeah.
singing, and it's so cute, like he's reading the words. I don't know.
He's gotten better at reading the teleprompter though, because when he first introduced it, he would fuck up the guitar all the time. You could tell like there's like a delay. It wasn't natural. Now he uses it a lot more often, almost like every song it feels like, and you rarely see it influence or impact uh his playing. Yeah, but
Right, but
Esther I thought was perfect and Hood was executed
right.
really well too.
If you know 50% of the lyrics, the teleprompter becomes a lot easier because you're almost skimming. You're like, all right, I know the first line. All right, yeah, that's the second line. And your brain should
Right,
just start to
fills in the
click in.
blanks. No, I agree.
And from someone who's never performed live in front of people.
Hey man, that sounded right. It sounded legit.
All right. I know.
I
I
wasn't gonna
really think
argue with you.
the hood, though, I felt like they clicked. I felt like they finally were onto something. And the jam before the third part of Hood was fantastic.
Yeah, it was hot. It was very good. Um, yeah, no, I agree. I think I don't know if that's when they clicked though, because I think Esther was really locked in. I think your distaste for the song maybe pushed it
Clouds
back,
my judgment, right?
clouds your judgment, but there was a progressive clicking in, I guess, as they went through, and Hood was very, very well done. Just yeah, I agree. Absolutely crushed it. Um, all right, and then okay, so if I had to choose, like, so we have to have qualms or add like some critique to it, which we don't have to, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. I would have loved more on that meat. I That's such a great song. It's personally for me probably a top 10. I love those
Right.
like meat and gumbo and like some of those more interesting groove
Right. It was
songs.
like that shit was like a Happy Meal burger, man. That was not enough meat.
Right. I wanted like a double quarter pounder with bacon, and they
Exactly.
gave me like a White Castle steamed patty.
Yeah, single.
Right. That was like Taco Bell. Like, I think it's meat. They say it's meat, but I'm not sure if it really is meat.
They gave me one taco. Damn it. Anyway, what we talked about before the show was we were talking about like Hershey and 21, and there was a meat last year that really got,
Yeah.
out there. Because the breakdown jam is such a beautiful thing. You can play for 5 minutes, breakdown, play for another 5 minutes.
It's how playful and fun they're playing or feeling, and especially with Fish, I think a lot of that comes on him, like because he could do some crazy shit on that breakdown, and then they go back and forth with Trey and the smiles. And tonight it wasn't there, but again, like that's nitpicking because I think the rest of the show is really stellar. Okay, now we're gonna get to my highlight. I think, well, no, my second highlight. It's definitely my highlight of the first set, and the second highlight, like penultimate of the whole show, is that melt. That's like absolutely
Right.
fantastic
Can,
melt. I
can
loved it.
before we jump into the melt, can I
Yeah.
just give a gold star to the meat melt transition? They stopped meat on a dime, and Fishman hit that. He was so on point with that. And
Yeah,
the
nailed
melt,
it.
the melt again is a 4.0 hero. I mean, it's just everyone since Nashville in 21 has been fantastic. It's had the great dark jam. 9 times out of 10, they nail the three notes when they come back. Dun, 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 to
Yeah.
finish the song. No complaints with the melts.
Yeah, they've got it so locked in, and it's a pretty complicated composition. I didn't realize how much of it was written out. Like obviously a lot of the beginnings, but a lot of those transitions and the way they build up the re-entry, a lot of that is already or is pre-written, and they just have it so locked in. I agree. MVP. Um, All right, and so then we get the first song of the night that was out of the 90s or 80s was like after, post millennium, post uh Big Cypress, and that was Leaves. And I loved this choice. I because it almost took the novelty, or like, I don't know. Like it wasn't what do you call that? When you like if you had just all like early 90s songs, it would almost,
Predictable.
yeah, and it would be like a nostalgia novelty thing, right? Like it's not like
But
this was just
okay,
a great Fish
are
show that was heavily early vintage.
but what if we had a nostalgia our way to like a dog faced boy or something there, you know?
I know. I know. It would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. I
Or a
get it.
Roger.
Yeah.
Roger would have fit perfectly. Leaves, I think, serves the same purpose in the set list as Roger does.
Yeah. Yeah,
With
I
the
know.
extended jam, because Leaves has a longer jam than a lot of the ballads, cool down songs, you know?
Yeah, well, what was that? Hartford last year kind of.
Oh, blew it away, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it also kind of ruined the song for me because now they're not going to do that the majority of the time. The majority of the time, it's going to be what it was tonight. But now
It's
we
8
know it's a
minutes,
possibility.
right? I mean, 8 minutes is hefty, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Billy Breeze would have been great.
Yes, Billy Breeze would have been. And then Coil. Coil is been, I wish the Coil would be in the middle of the set sometime. Let Page have a little solo and then solo into another song, I think would be neat instead of it just his outro thing, you know. But it's always fun. He gets the spotlight for a minute.
My dream, I don't think it's the perfect way to end it, but I would love a coil into Walls of the Cave because Walls of the Cave starts with the big dramatic piano. So you do this crazy outro in coil, then and then he just goes right into like a segue into Walls of the Cave because that's actually a really epic, like climatic way to end a set. But
Or you break out Lamb Lies Down on Broadway for the first time, which has a piano intro to it that I've always wanted to hear Page do.
what are we doing? We're all over the place.
All right. Remember, like, subscribe, notify. We have Live coming up Wednesdays for the foreseeable future. We have after shows for Dead and Company and Phish this summer. And we have Taper's Choice show coming out with some interviews. Look for
Yeah.
that next week, probably on the other side of Live Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, and if you're feeling generous and want to help contribute to the channel and some of the things we have coming up, we have the super thanks and the super stickers, and there should be a little thing on your YouTube. So we don't really ever petition for that stuff, but we have a lot of plans. So if you're feeling up to it, go ahead and hit that. All right, second set. Oh, I can hear it now. All
Second
right.
set. My main thought is that we are under the influence of 1997 with this.
That was what the awkward pause for was the banner. Hey, Kev, you're echoing a little bit. You turn down a
Yes,
tiny.
and now it won't hide.
Uh,
Huh?
Listen, you're echoing a little bit. I was just wondering if you could turn down a tiny bit the speaker. Um, yeah, this chalk dust was phenomenal. It was upbeat right off the rip. It had a fast pace to it. I think that was Fish was just like hitting it hard. And then you brought this up many times about how outro is the new standard. The outro jam's the new standard for it. But I love this configuration of it. It got really kind of spacey, and went someplace. And then my favorite, bringing it into like the mountain jam esque uh end of the jam.
Early with it.
Yeah, and it was so cool, man. Uh, yeah, I loved it. What do you think?
I think it's another example, like we talked about with Down with Disease, of everything that they've ever learned coming together. Again, not a wasted minute. 23 minutes long, not a wasted minute.
What did you mean by the under the influence 97? That went over my head.
It sounded very seven. They broke out the Sneak and Sally. It had the twist.
Oh, just in general, like tour 97 feel. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I hear you. Well, especially that twist.
Right. Well, let's the chalk dust though. I think it found some interesting spaces that you don't normally get. I think that it rivaled everybody's favorite Chalk Dust, the Baker's Dozen one.
Potentially. I mean, I haven't listened to the Baker's Chalk Dust in a while, but I this is I mean, this definitely has re-listenability value to it, right? Like I think this and the Tweezer were the two songs out of this tour that I'm gonna go back to first, you know.
Right.
I really like the Mountain Jam portion of it. He was just talking about almonds too. Uh, what was that? Oh, did you see that clip when he was talking to the drum tech
Mm-mm.
Trey when he goes
The,
around?
the the guy who carries the Marina Lumbina.
No, I think those are roadies. I think the way it works is like the drum tech's the guy that like
Puts it
uh
together.
yeah, and he's like an expert in those instruments, like tuning and taking care of it and hardware and like the piano tech, Um anyway, I digress.
And another shout out, another fantastic transition out of that Chalk Dust into the twist.
Yeah, I one of my notes I try to do is highlight my favorite segue of the night, and that was the segue I highlighted. Some nights I only highlight, or there's only one segue to highlight. Tonight
And there might not
there
even be
were
one.
many, but that I agree. I think that was a fantastic segue. And man, that twist, how cool was that? Mike was doing those cool bent bass notes, and then there was some Frampton
Oh no, Oyukomo Va. It was
oh,
Santana,
oh,
is
is
what I
that what
was
it
hearing. Yeah.
was?
Hey, can we go back real quick though? I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
man,
do
go
this
wherever
to you.
you want, dude. It's fine.
What was up with the drumming in Bowie? What was Fishman doing?
What do you mean?
In the very beginning, he was playing like these weird shuffle beats instead of like what you normally play in Bowie.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh my god, I was like, "What are you doing?" I tweeted out, I was like, "Stop. Just stop it. Play the song right." Anyway, all right, so the twist was only 8 minutes, it could have had a little more to it, but
It was a
it
cool
was
jam though, right?
right, it got dark, it got it, into it real quick, boom, back out, and, the transition back into closed twist was also fantastic. Trey felt very comfortable in that space tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And the interplay between him and Mike was very cool in the twist.
Yes.
Um, and then we go into a really funky, groovy 2001, which is always a good time. I think that is a very safe but excellent choice for this part of the set.
Sure.
Uh, Anything else on it?
I mean, I'm going to say what everybody on Twitter says. Everybody wants all shots of all the lights, but I think for 2001, it should be in the contract. They have to pull back for at least a good 3-4 minutes. A run through from like the spacey part up to the theme. You have to give us 4 or 5 minutes of just a back shot of the lights instead of looking at Trey's hands. Because part of the majesty of 2001 is seeing them live in the lights.
Yeah, so you're talking about like the Crota cam, right? Like
Yeah.
live Phish and the angles they give. Yeah, I saw more commentary on that tonight than we've seen any other night, and I think part of it's because of the venue and how cool the bowl looks. You
The
saw
pictures people were
the
putting out are
the pictures were phenomenal, and then you looked at the webcast and it was not phenomenal visually. I agree. At first I thought you were talking about pull back like the band, and I was like, I thought
no,
they
no, 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 no,
executed
no,
it great.
no, pull back and do that wide angle
Yeah, the
shot.
shot. I agree.
Where's
Or
T when we need him to?
give us the option too with technology these days. Like you can't give us like 4 different camera angles
I
and
think
let
Humphreys did something like that
I'm
at
sure
a
you could
show,
do that. Lead the way, Fish. Figure that shit out. I say lead the
right?
way, but apparently Humphreys has already done it.
Right, and
Um,
and here's where the real '97 hit me was the Sally. That just song I associate with that year because that's when it really started to come into prominence, and it was the closest thing to a Meter song. I mean, the Meters played on the studio track, so it fit in with the whole funk thing. Then.
is this the second night in a row you're bringing meters up? We should have
I
like
think it
tallies of
was.
things. Yeah.
I think it was. They're the new radiators.
The new radiators. We're gonna drink every time you mention the meters. It was fun, man. I love that song, but that was a really fun version of it. The whole That's how I would describe this portion of the set. Like the chalk dust I thought was epic and like really big, but after that, pretty much from the twist on was just a really fun set. Just everything I want at a Fish show. It's fun to dance to listen to.
Mm,
I thought the Sneak
interesting.
and Sally was really fun, and that went right in the back on the train too. I love it. I think it
I
was really
thought
fun.
you were going to make a fourth quarter, a call about the fourth quarter
Oh,
on this one.
really? Where
Yeah,
starting?
because we got another repeat with Back on the Train. Then Life Beyond a Dream, which I know we have to do a slow song.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
I hadn't gotten a Light Beyond the Dream. I think there's two ways you can look at it. Um, Based on the set list leading up to it and the vintage of it and where the whole night was, the expectations and everything was so freaking high. But at the
mhm,
same time, I was super satisfied and content at that point. Right.
right,
And it is a really pretty song. Like I don't know if pretty
right,
is the right word to
right.
say, but like it just I was happy.
Did
I was
you?
okay.
It sounded like Back on the Train became Possum
Oh
for a
yeah,
minute
back.
or two.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I wrote that down. I wrote back on the possum.
You know,
But I mean, I think that comes just because it has a train beat. Like it's like it has that like train
right.
back beat. But
Right. Maybe one of my problems too with the cool down songs is they stop. They play the cool down song, a lot of the time. Then they play another song. So it's like people are gonna shoot me for saying this, but it's like when you had a Fishman song every night, it completely broke up the second set
I love
because
those
Fishman had to
songs.
come out and sing the song. And
Yeah, did you know? I didn't realize. I was looking at Renee's pictures on from the road account. I didn't realize they put the Electrovox, like the vacuum, right on his riser every night. I
Mhm.
I I don't know why I've never like saw that right there.
It's like winking at him.
I
Come on
know.
over here, big boy.
Put your lips on me.
Give me a song.
Oh, all right. I
All
already
right,
took
back
it too
to the
far, and
show.
you went even further.
All right, so Life Beyond a Dream is Life Beyond a Dream. People really like it. I guess if you had a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a partner of some kind, you'd sit there and hold them and be like, "This is beautiful. Let's have our life
Was
beyond
it
a
a
dream."
perfect way to, resolve the set? No, it wasn't necessarily the ideal choice, but it wasn't egregious or terrible enough to like really make me bitch about it. I'm fine with it. It is what it
Right.
is. I'm not gonna be upset. I'm not gonna downgrade the rest of the show or poop
No,
on the rest of the
no, it's
show
just
for it.
all right. And then First Tube, I love First Tube. It's big rock and roll. It's.
You know what's weird about doing the first tube is it's Saturday. I feel
Hmm.
like that's always a Sunday night tune, isn't it?
Tomorrow night's encore is more.
God,
They haven't done a more yet,
I'm gonna stay
and
up till
it's the
3
last night of
a.m.
tour, the last song.
Let's hope not.
Hey.
You know what I love about First Tube too, probably the most is how much fun Trey has with it.
Hmm.
You see him goobing out like that and those stupid faces, those
And the
stupid
rest of
fuck
them are like,
when he's like
dude,
this, but it's awesome.
right?
I don't think Mike likes that song. Mike
No,
always
'cause he
he
he just
hates
looks
it.
at him like, "All right."
Remember when we were talking to Dez about it, and he was like, we were talking about that song, and he loves it. He really appreciated his role playing it. I don't think Mike appreciates his role
Mike doesn't
playing it.
wanna play Tony's stuff. Mike doesn't, I think, dig on sand too much either.
Yeah, probably not. You're probably right, but
It's
I
very
think
repetitive. He's playing the same 4 note
yeah, it's
however
it's
many
an
notes it is.
ostinato, exactly, and that's all those songs from that time period were written like that. But I love it, and the bass is the most critical part of the whole thing, and I feel like
Mhm.
Dez really, values that, and Mike's just like, nah, fuck it, I want to play Mull.
I wanna meander.
I want to do some crazy Mike shit. It's fun though. I like it.
That's why it works with Fishman, who doesn't wanna play a straight beat. They just hand in glove.
Fish plays straight beats constantly. All right.
Have you ever seen the interview where he said that he didn't ever wanna play the same drum beat twice on a song?
Oh no, but that makes sense. Do you ever see the tracking of the Fuego fills? Because he has like those real big fills, and he's done it like I don't know, whatever, 100 times, and he's done like 100 variations of it. So it tracks what you're saying. Tracks. We are really all over the place.
We are. All right, and then we got the Antelope Encore. Everybody was buzzing talking about an Antelope coming up. They haven't done one this tour. And again, I think that if back to back, side to side with Bowie, the Antelope comes out on top every time. And I don't know why Trey doesn't hit the notes in Bowie like he does before the drop in Antelope.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you though. It's a very valid point.
So
But
that's where we are.
but he does hit him on Antelope, and I think that's what we leave on is that it was a great encore of a great show. Everybody had fun. You could feel the energy, and I hope that they keep it up. And honestly, this whole tour, I think, since we're coming towards the end of it, has been really solid. I think it bodes well for the summer and possibly Japan.
Definitely, they aren't phoning it in, huh? Phish
Oh.
is going to phone it in this year. It's the 40th anniversary, and they're just going to be like, whatever.
All right. Bye, guys. See you next time.